Emotional reactivity. You know, when you hear of people that have been hypersensitive, really reactive to something, and it might have just been a facial expression or a word that was not meant with any malice, but they've jumped on that. Hello and welcome back. Now, just before we get started, if you're watching this on the Total Somatics YouTube channel, could you like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell? So whenever you hear an episode, you find out very quickly. Also, if you're not aware, I do have a TEDx talk, and it's on the subject of pandiculation, which is a bit of what we're going to talk about today. But if you want to see the nitty gritty of it, if you go to YouTube, put in the search bar TEDx Heidi Hadley, and then my TEDx talk will come up. And please give me a thumbs up and comment and share it with anyone else that you know it will resonate with. Okay, so today we're going to dive into a subject that impacts people more than they realize, and that is nervous system dysregulation. Now, if you've at times felt like you were constantly on edge, or you've had trouble relaxing, or you've noticed that your body will react to the smallest stressor or stimuli, you're not alone. This is really common. And today we're going to look at what's actually happening inside your body, and also, most importantly, what we can do about it. Okay, so first of all, what is nervous system dysregulation? You may have heard about it in other places as well. Well, very briefly, what it is it's a part of your nervous system called the autonomic nervous system. And within that category, we have something called the sympathetic nervous system, which is the go, go, go. It's the fight or the flee component. Or we have the parasympathetic, which is more like that rest and digest. It has that lower type of energy in it. So, or more just to relaxation. So with that in mind, we've got those two modes. But what can happen is people can get stuck in a certain state within their nervous system. So they can be in hyper arousal. So they're in that fight flight. So they're on the go all the time. That's when they find it really hard to wind down or slow down. Or it can be in this low arousal sort of state, and what that is more like feigning death or freezing. So either way, if you're stuck in those states for too long, that's classed as dysregulation. So some common signs that we see with nervous system dysregulation is such as shallow breathing, chronic tension, emotional reactivity. You know, when you hear of people that have been hypersensitive, really reactive to something, and it might have just been a facial expression or a word that was not meant with any malice, but they've jumped on that. It could be difficulty sleeping, digestive issues, and brain fog, just to name a few. But that just gives you an overall idea of how it starts to, it's quite debilitating, really. It starts to take over and consume a person's life. And so there are many reasons that people can have this dysregulation. It could be from chronic stress. It can be from things such as unresolved trauma, and also repetitive strain from daily activities or habits that people have, poor posture, poor movement patterns, all of these sorts of things, or an instant action, an accident that's happened. And again, you're locked in time with that aspect within your nervous system. Also, there are lifestyle factors that can also influence nervous system dysregulation. It could be poor nutrition, poor sleep patterns, or lack of movement. And so within Total Somatics, what I do is I teach you how we can create lifestyle changes by developing a total somatic awareness and approach to nervous system regulation. And so this is what's really important. The first thing we want to do for nervous system regulation is look at something called pandiculation. So I mentioned that at the beginning. It's massively overlooked by humans, and yet other vertebrate animals, they pandiculate. We've just deconditioned it out of our system because of society, with the modern demands, the things that we are subjected to on a daily activities. We've no longer put that as part of our daily practice. So we've developed limited movement patterns because we are very sedentary in our lifestyle. We've got mobile devices that are highly activating and keeping us in this hyper arousal state within our nervous system. And as a result of that, we've become more rigid, more hypervigilant, more sensitized to everything. And again, that, without bringing in pandiculation, just turns up the dial and again creates more dysregulation within our nervous system. So again, we want to be bringing pandiculation back in as that first reset for creating more regulation and more bandwidth and resilience and flexibility within our nervous system. The second thing we're going to look at is also how we can read our body from the inside out. That's a really powerful technique to know, and many people have lost that skill. They're living in their heads and they no longer sense and feel what's going on within their body. And yet when we can sense and feel what's going on within, that's when we can create the changes. We can tap into what's happening within and then what we can do to recalibrate, reset, and also regulate our nervous system. And this is going to help us to create safety and calm within. That's such a powerful feeling to have, is safety and calm from within. And finally, when we combine total somatic movement, mindset, and mindfulness, all these techniques come in together beautifully. And you can see why it then becomes a daily practice. Because I want you to remember that your nervous system isn't broken. It's overprotective at the moment. But through mindful, gentle retraining of your nervous system with total somatics, we can do this in a loving and nurturing way. And this is where I'd like to put an invitation out to you. So if you're listening to this in October 2025, I will be holding a fully immersive workshop over the weekend of the 25th and the 26th of October 2025. If you're unable to watch it live, if you've registered for it, then you can watch the replay. But if you're watching this after October 2025, you have the opportunity to purchase this workshop within the Total Somatics online shop. So you can go to totalsomatics.com, click on the shop page, and you can purchase it there. However, if you're a Total Somatics member, you will actually have access to this within the membership. So again, that's where it's beautiful, because everything that we're learning here will all go straight back into the membership. So if you are in the Total Somatics membership, you will have access to that as being a loyal, committed member to Total Somatics. But if you would like to join me and learn how you can experience this really powerful reset, if you go to totalsomatics.com/workshops, that's totalsomatics.com/workshops. You'll see all the details there for the online fully immersive workshop. And also you'll see the different time zones. But remember, if you've registered and you've purchased that workshop, you will receive the replay link and get to watch that back in your own time if you can't join me live. But until next time, all my love, all my very best wishes. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and also forward this on to somebody you know will benefit. To learn more about pain relief, plus how to improve your health and well-being, go to totalsomatics.com. Until next time, take care.